Hello, everyone. This is Scooby.
And that means I'm Steven, and you're here for another episode of The Feedback, where us two gentlemen get together and share a song with ourselves. I always say it like that, and I feel like it's so awkward, but we share a song with each other with you as proxy, as the listener that comes to hang out with us as well, and kind of discuss where that song does for us, or the new listener, what it feels like for them for the first time, what that song reminds us of, if anything, how we feel about it lyrically, or any kind of fun little part that comes through. And I'll stop giving this long-winded rendition of what we do and let you get hearing what we do here in a minute by concluding my part of the introduction by saying what I brought to drink today, which is good old high-quality H2O as always. And today I brought some Sprite, which I think is the first time I've brought Sprite to the stream. Scoobs, what are we listening to today, and what have you brought to drink?
I have something similar to what you've got, but something a little different. Same, but different. I have a 7-Up.
Ooh.
Yes, which apparently is its own company. It's not Coke, it's not Pepsi.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of like how Dr. Pepper can be distributed through both Coke or Pepsi, and you can know which it is by the shape of the bottle.
You know, I recently learned that, and that kind of blew my mind.
Yeah. See, you've learned things when you come to this podcast, and not just about music. We know a surprising amount about sodas and energy drinks.
The Dewcast.
Yeah, that's the pseudonym, the alt title for the feedback. It's the Dewcast. I also have water, of course, because water is very important, and I haven't been hydrating enough, and I realize that, and I'm working on fixing it.
You gotta hydrate so you don't dehydrate.
That's right. For our song today, I have picked something, as of this recording, fairly recent. It's actually Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day, Stephen.
Hey, happy Valentine's Day.
As we're recording this, I have chosen a song by Cory Wong. I don't know if you have heard of Cory Wong. You may have heard stuff by him and not realized it, but... And does the name ring a bell?
I have not heard the name of Cory Wong that I'm aware of, but that doesn't mean that I don't know something that they've done, as you were suggesting, because, as we've talked about before, not only am I woefully unaware sometimes of who I'm listening to myself, but I'm also forgetful of who I listened to before.
Cory Wong is a member of the band Wolfpack, who I've spoken about many times, but still haven't brought in a song by. I'm sure I will eventually. Wolfpack are a funk band. That's the easiest way to describe them, but they do a lot of different stuff. Many of the members of Wolfpack have side projects, and Cory Wong has released several albums under his own name. The track that I have chosen today is called Lisa Never Wanted to Be Famous, and it was released January 27th, so less than a month ago, and it's off of the album Lost in the Wonder, which came out less than 2 weeks ago at this point. So it's pretty recent for us.
That is. Why did Lisa never want to be famous?
Well, once you hear the song and listen to the lyrics, you might realize what they're talking about, or who they're talking about, I should say. So I'm not going to list off the band members yet, only because this is one of those songs that has some surprise instruments that I kind of want to spring on you that's a little unique. So
I'm expecting a saxophone, a piano, and a tuba.
Okay, interesting. We will see how many of those are correct. So here's what I'll do. I'll do it this way. I will list off the band members. Now, I will say what some of them play, but I won't say the fun instruments. Well, all instruments are fun. That's a little derivative. Anyways, we got Cory Wong on electric guitar, Theo Katzman, who is also a member of Wolfpack, who does lead vocals for this track, but also does the acoustic guitar and drums. Joe Dart, also of Wolfpack, who plays the big guitar, aka the bass. Then we've got Dave McKay, Benjamin Jaff, Ryan Lerman, and Isaiah Gage, who play other instruments.
And if you know who those people are, now you know what instruments they are, potentially, maybe. And if you don't know who they are, then you're going to be in the same boat as me and hopefully super excited and surprised
Yeah.
by the tuba,
So,
saxophone, and piano.
correct. So, Cory Wong his skills lie in his composition, I think, and he's very much traditionally known as a rhythm guitar player. So, you're not really often going to hear him like ripping out solos, which I don't know, a lot of times when people think of a guitar player, that's what they think of, or like crazy leads or things like that, but he's just a very talented songwriter. And that's not to say he's a bad guitar player. I have heard him tear out solos before, and they're very good. I think like a year or two ago, he did a promo video for a guitar program that, it's on your computer and you can come up with different tones and stuff, and he was featured in it with Tim Henson from Polyphia and Pliny, and those are two guitar players who are like leading the charge of talent, pretty much. Just the things that they can do are insane. And I was like, Cory Wong with those two, that doesn't really compute, but it worked. It worked really, really well. Even though he doesn't have that reputation for being like a shredder or anything like that.
Is this an example of one of the very few and far in between moments where you have a very modest guitar player?
Honestly, yeah. So I actually, a couple years ago, saw Cory Wong live. I went with my buddy Tom, who is also now your buddy.
Shout out Tom.
Yeah, so we went to see Cory Wong, and it was such a cool experience because it was a big band. Like, they had a horn section, and then friggin' Victor Wooten came out to play with them, which was a surprise. But it's one of those things where it's his name on the marquee, but everyone gets the spotlight because everyone's so talented.
That's cool.
I don't know. I do feel like, yeah, he's supremely talented, but he's also not an asshole. He's just like super humble and is like, I just like to play music. And he's good at it.
We need more people like that in this world.
I agree. Well, now that I'm done kissing his butt for now, I guess we'll do some more of that later. We can probably jump into this song.
I had a
Genre-wise,
question. Yep, there it is.
Ooh.
That's what it was.
Okay. What was the genre? Okay, so I'm going to call it soft rock, which sounds like, I don't know, what do you think of when you hear soft rock? Do you have artists that jump to mind? Because there's a couple for me that jump to mind, but I'm curious what you think about it.
If you're going to say soft rock, and I'm going to be stereotypical just because, radio rock, soft rock, I'd be thinking like Doobie Brothers, Jackson Browne, maybe Creedence.
Okay.
Something like in that kind of a vein where it's, it's still rock and roll, but it's not the, smashing your guitar on stage, sex, drugs, rock and roll, like, wah! That kind of rock and roll.
Okay.
That's where my mind goes at first, like yacht rock.
Okay. I see that. Oh, sorry. There's a cat jumping on the back of my chair. She surprised me.
She wants to be our first guest.
She's been a guest many a time.
That's
I'm
true.
sure
She has let her opinion
many
be known
episodes.
in passing.
Yeah. Yeah. So for me, I think of like Billy Joel and like Elton John.
Yeah. Hootie and the Blowfish?
Maybe less than.
Hootie!
But like, God, that guy hates his life. My name's not Hootie. It's Darius. Around the same time frame, like the Counting Crows too.
Yeah.
Like that sort of. That's what comes to mind for me when I think soft rock. So I'm going to read a YouTube comment before we start it, and we'll see if you agree with this, but I agree with this.
Okay.
The comment under this video that I really like, it has 324 thumbs up, the rating system on YouTube. The comment is, best Billy Joel song I've heard in a while.
Okay. I'm excited to hear this now, for sure.
I mean, yeah, I love Billy Joel. And I know he's still playing music, but he's not making music. He retired from creating new music like fucking 20, 25 years ago.
That's a good thing to just, rest on your morals, right?
Yeah.
I think there's some bands out there that are still making music and they need to just stop.
Yes, for sure. All right. Well, I think we can jump on in if you are ready.
I am ready to go.
All right. So we are going to jump into Lisa Never Wanted to Be Famous by Cory Wong. And actually, Theo Katzman is also given title credits on this track. So Cory Wong and Theo Katzman.
Never wanted to be famous, but she wasn't no average type of gal. Everyone who saw her said the same thing. There was something special about her smile, and at first glance she did not seem so stand out. Felt your head spin back around, and if you caught her gaze, you got the sense that she was staring right into your soul. And then they picked her up, stole her away, put a picture on display, all because of how she looked. Now she's trapped in history books. Lisa, when you get off of work, I'll wrap you in a shirt, sneak you out the back door into my Cadillac, and I'll drive you to the beach so I can finally see what your smile looks like when you feel free. I wanna see what your smile looks like when you feel free. Got a chance to tell her story. She never got the chance to live her dreams, 'cause fame is not the same thing as glory. All it does is rob you of your peace. So I can't bring myself to take a picture, no, and show it to my friends when I get home, as if her beauty was for my possession. The plight of every woman in this world. Yeah, they picked her up, stole her away, forever to be on display, all because she looked just right. Now she don't get to sleep at night.
So, the other instruments that I was mentioning, Stephen, you got one of them correct. Piano. But the others were a cello, a clarinet, and a flute.
Was that also an organ too?
I think it's just a piano.
Okay, I thought I saw like at one point like the I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Anyway, I wanted to ask you actually. I think I saw them playing the cello, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's a cello, and I hope it's a cello. But either way, it's gonna open me for my favorite Jack Black line, which is, "You play the bass, right there, cello. You got a bass." That's not perfect. I messed that up, but it was from School of Rock.
Of course, it's from School of Rock.
I definitely butchered that, and I'm sorry. But anyway, continue.
We have besmirched the honor of Jack Black.
I don't want him to come back and
No.
attack us, put a curse on us.
The Jack Black attack.
Yikes.
So, yeah, I don't know. It's just like, it's such a pleasant song. It never goes off the rails in any way, shape, or form, but it's composed beautifully, I think. It does build, and I feel like not the highlight of the song or the high point, but what it is building to is coincidentally the guitar solo, which I talked about how Cory Wong doesn't do that many solos. Of course, I happened to choose a song that he did one in, but it's just like a very tasteful guitar solo, I feel. Obviously, you can tell he's a very talented guitar player, but he's not ripping up and down the fretboard or anything like that. There's nothing crazy. It's just a solo where you're like, wow. He really knows what he's doing when it comes to both just playing guitar, but also playing to fit the track, which I think is an understated ability where a lot of musicians, if they get the chance to solo, are going to show off. And here it's like comfortable, I think is a good word to use for it. Does that make sense?
No, I absolutely agree. And I think that was very well said, first of all, that the way that the guitar solo didn't feel forced. It wasn't that, look at what I can do. You know what I mean? He wasn't just sitting there just showing off the whole time. It was a very complex but fitting solo. And it definitely never felt like it was breaking the genre that it's trying to, like the soft rock genre that it kind of feels it would be in. Because you wouldn't normally hear a crazy guitar solo in that, but there's sometimes they do have different kinds of solos in those kinds of songs, but it wouldn't be anything insane. It would be a random instrument. Like maybe when you said there were surprise instruments and things like that, and the clarinet and the flute came out, I'm like, oh man, is there gonna be like a jazz flute solo, a little Ron Burgundy?
Yeah.
Either way, like the guitar solo that did happen, I know we knew it was coming regardless, but I was hoping maybe there was like a little bonus feature. It was tastefully done in the song, and even like the parts where the clarinet and the flute came in, like it was a nice introduction, and it kind of came in and left at a point where like it never felt forced. And sometimes when like you bring a random instrument in, sometimes like that, and it comes into this kind of a song or any kind of a song, really, it's like we've talked about this before, I think very recently, like when you're bringing that instrument in just to say like I brought it in. I think it was the last time the piano was a part of the song, and it was a part of the whole song. Right?
Yes. Yeah.
Outliers?
There. Yep. That was the last track.
Had to check my notes real quick, but yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, the inclusion of like an instrument that wouldn't really expect, it makes me think of, this is where I'm gonna sound really nerdy for a second, but there was a streamer I used to watch, primarily StarCraft and StarCraft 2, but you know how streamers will just kind of talk about whatever in between. And this was Day 9, and he was talking about a song that he really liked, and it was a flamenco song. And he was doing this thing where he was listening to the song and like coming up with a story while he was talking to the song, and then trumpets came in, and he goes, then all of a sudden trumpets. And then he's like, why? The song was going so good. And then he brought in the trumpets.
That's funny.
But and I can't think of any right now, but I know that there have been songs that I've listened to and been like, well, what's that doing there? Which isn't really the reaction you want to have.
Right.
As, not just as a listener, but also as the composer of the song. If that's the reaction you get,
right,
you should be double thinking what you're doing.
Maybe this doesn't belong.
Exactly. Here, everything fit. Like, nothing was extremely complex, but at the same time, the way the song was composed, it did have that sort of... You knew it was building to something. Because the instrumentation, it starts off with the piano, and then it's drums, bass, and acoustic guitar. Then the electric guitar comes in very understated. And then after that first chorus, they bring in the cello, flute, clarinet, etc. And everything just sort of starts to have that feeling of anticipation where the drums are getting more complex and the bass is getting more complex until it hits that high point of the guitar solo into the last chorus, which the last chorus, any song should always be the biggest.
Yeah, I mean, that makes perfect sense to me, and it was.
Yeah. What gets me so much about this track is I've listened to it a whole lot since it came out. It might be my most listened to track of the year so far. I don't know if there's any way to track that, but it's so well written that I find myself coming back to it so often.
I love a song that does that. Any kind of song that you can kind of pull out where you're going to listen to like that multiple times because of just whatever it is, the feeling that it gives to you or how well it's written or the words or hopefully all of the above. But when you find that song and like it's unmistakable. So like I don't know. I have a few of them myself that are on the playlist. Some of them might be ones that are more like really that one, but yeah, there's some weird ones. I don't care. Fight me. I couldn't tell you one right off the top of my head because now I feel like I put myself on the spot. So don't ask me. But like, I agree. Like there's a lot of this was good. It was very catchy, and it had like a very easy feeling song to it too. Like I want to listen to this one again. I know we've said it before, and I think maybe I didn't have a good way of describing it, and I've said it, but I will say like this instead of saying like when we listened to one of the songs that were like maybe 7 minutes long, I was like, really? That's it? It was already over? There's not more? Like instead of feeling like that, I want to say like I like when albums are kind of you want to listen to them in order, and when they do that, like that really makes me feel like you're a next level artist into some like you don't have to do it every single time, but to do it in the sense of like where they fit together, maybe not necessarily in message, but at least in feeling, it kind of builds up as the album builds, or it has like the same like that kind of thematic event to it almost. So like this leaves me wanting to know where it is on the album, how it fits, and how much more around it will continue or change the feeling of this song because of the way that this feels. So like I know we've talked about a bunch of them and we always have those things, but like this has me curious. So
yeah, I will say I haven't listened to the entire album yet. I've heard probably like 5 or 6 songs from it. I like them all. I'm sure eventually I will end up listening to the entire album, but this song in particular is track 9 of 12. So, but yeah, like you're saying, I would be interested to hear how the album flows, because I agree. Like I think that is something that is super underrated, I think. And it's not to say that when artists make an album, it's just a bunch of songs thrown together. In essence, that is what an album is.
right.
But ideally, you do want them to have some sort of flow. There's an album by a band called The Reign of Kindo, and I really enjoy their music and everything, but like, The first song is their usual sound. It's like kind of jazzy, kind of progressive, very high energy. And then the next song is like a really slow ballad. And I'm like, why would you put that there? Every time I listen to the album, I think that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that would annoy me.
even one of my favorite albums from, well, it's 2 years ago at this point, from one of my favorite bands, Bill Murray, released American Motorsports. And then later, they released the deluxe edition 420cc, which had like three or four songs that had been released before the album that they didn't actually put on the album, and they just mushed it all together. I love every single song on the album, but I feel like it doesn't flow very well. And it bothers me, and like I took the album and I rearranged the tracks in a way that I was like, this feels better to me. So, I don't know.
No, I absolutely agree. And if I had that instance of something like that happening to me, I'd probably do the same things. It's one of those things, in my opinion, and I'm kind of guessing in your opinion as well, based on this, that like you should treat your albums like a concert. You're not gonna come in going hot and then immediately throw ice on everything and cool it down, and then try to pick the crowd back up again by going into another hot song. Like, you sprinkle those things in, like, you're all right, guys, we're gonna slow it down a little bit here. We want to try something different, or we want to play one of those songs you knew you liked but never knew you liked. So, something like that, like that stupid shit. But never off of a new album, ever.
No. Yeah.
Unless it's already been like a single that everyone has well received, because no one's gonna sing to it. So you need it to be that song that everyone's gonna sing along to, and be like, all right, okay, I guess it's okay that we did this, because yeah. Everyone has some kind of connection to it at that point.
Right.
When you're doing it with an album, you gotta do it the same thing, at least in my opinion. You don't want to just have it feel like it's the best of, because that's not what this is. This is such and such album. And also don't make it sound like you don't know what you guys are doing and just have a whole bunch of songs you slap together real quick because you want to make $1. Like,
right.
At least, if you don't know how to put, or if you don't know what you're doing, and it's not a complete thing, at least, like you said, kind of fit them in by the way they feel. So this way there's at least like some kind of semblance to it. End the song or end the album with like a send out with the quiet song. Don't throw it right in the middle of two hard songs. Like, doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Just to name another quick example of something that we've done, when we did All I Wanted by Paramore, I was like, that had to be the last track on the album. It had to be.
Yeah.
If it was anywhere else, it wouldn't feel right.
Right. Right. There's just, that feel to it too. Like, you can just kind of tell, just like that. Like you said, like, yeah.
So I'm also wondering now, Stephen, if looking at the lyrics, if you realized what or who they were speaking about.
I was gonna guess the Mona Lisa.
That is a correct guess.
Woohoo!
That is correct. Which, interestingly enough, there's a track by Wolfpack called La Gioconda, which is also about the Mona Lisa. So now that's two Wolf-related projects who have songs about the Mona Lisa. And if I had a nickel for every time that happened, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's strange that has happened more than once.
I'm gonna have to say that if the Mona Lisa goes missing anytime soon, it's gonna be them. Like, I'm blaming them. They're the suspect.
Yeah, it was Wolf. Look into it.
I just know, man. that Charlie Day.
Yeah.
Fingers on the forehead. They're pointing at the wall. Just random news articles and string all over that doesn't really make sense. I'm telling you, man, there's something going on here. I do have to say, not knowing that they did have that Wolfpack had a song about it, I was actually kind of like, oh, this is cool. I'm glad, this is neat that they did this. Now I'm like,
yeah.
Oh man, are you really obsessed? Maybe a little.
So I'm actually reading where we used Genius this week, and there's usually a little blurb about the song if people know information about it.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, they didn't write the song in 2025. Apparently, Theo wrote the lyrics 10 years ago, almost 10 years ago. It says here he completed the lyrics 2 months later and sent a voice memo to Cory. But 3 Theo Katzman albums and nearly 10 years passed before the song was released.
Gee.
So, they've been hanging on to that one for a while.
For real, that's insane.
But, on the other hand, if that is how long they waited to record it, that would explain why the vocal melodies are just insane.
Yeah.
Because Theo, I think, has a, I don't know if I want to say unique singing voice. I don't know if that sounds like weird or derivative or anything like that, but his pitch is pretty high. And he looks like Jason Statham, so that's kind of a weird dichotomy. But he could really, really sing, and he hits a lot of high notes, and he sustains them. And again, this is another one of those examples where I'm like, everyone involved in this song is so good. Because that's what I said the last time I brought a song. I was like, everyone's so talented! And then this time I'm saying the same thing, because, again, Theo did 3 instruments on this track. Well, instruments, vocals, I'm counting that as an instrument. But also the acoustic guitar and the drums. And Joe Dart is very good at the big guitar, and the arrangement was done by Cory Wong, and just everyone did their part beautifully. Where it is another one of those songs where every time you listen to it, you can sort of pick something out and just focus on that and be like, wow, they're really good.
I have to agree. It's one of those things that you definitely have a better appreciation for when you kind of have the ability to either know who they are, thanks to you telling me their names and the instruments that they were playing, and then also being able to watch it live. Well, I guess not technically live, but the video was pretty neat. I thought it felt like a live show, even though it was probably like a one-take recording. At least that's what they made it feel like, which again is always wildly impressive. But yeah, I thought that that's a cool way of being able to look at them and see them, be like, oh, I remember you. You were just doing the thing before. Hey, wait, you're also singing? Interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you don't know who, like, I know you told me that they're going to be doing all those different things, but then when you watch them do it, it's like, I see you. You're fancy.
Yes.
I had a question, actually, now that I remember talking about it. When they were showing, like, the animation, it feels like it was an animation of him singing, because it didn't feel like that was the actual recording, right? That didn't look right, did it? Am I crazy?
I can't say for certain. I know a lot of times that when people record music videos, it is not a live performance. It's usually like overdubbed later. So I wouldn't be surprised if, he was just kind of miming or lip syncing, if you will. But at the same time, I also wouldn't be surprised to find out if they just recorded his vocal take. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
And that was footage from the actual vocal take that they ended up using.
That could have been. What it looked like to me is like when they had like a bunch of still images and they got morphed from like one still to the next still. Like the movement felt kind of chunky, is what I was thinking, and it almost looked like it was like, I don't want to say the word AI, but it felt like it looked that way, and I was confused and interested, and I wanted to ask you. We can look back at that later if you want to.
Yeah, that I cannot say for certain. But yeah, I mean, I don't. This is another one of those tracks where it's like, I don't have anything super profound to say except that it's a really good track and I think people need to hear it. And I don't know, maybe it's also because I'm getting older, which that was difficult for me to say. I don't know, I just sort of have this, like, not that I don't enjoy heavier music and all that, still, obviously I do. Dance Gavin Dance is still one of my favorite bands, etc. But I have sort of found myself moving towards this appreciation for softer stuff. I don't know, I just feel like when I was younger, and I mean probably like teens and early 20s, I don't think I would have been super into this.
Yeah,
But now I'm like, oh, this is really just, it's so pleasant.
yeah, no, I agree completely because I would say myself, I've told you, I've even said it before, I would think yacht rock. And if you heard me say in my age between 16 and 24 the words yacht rock, you'd be like, who are you? And
Yeah.
like, I can comfortably sit here and tell you that I cannot wait for about 2 months, maybe 3 months from now, when it's warm enough out that I can go outside and wash the car and mow the lawn and listen to some yacht rock and get that done. I'm very much excited about that, and I don't care how old that makes me sound.
Oh, are you gonna listen to some James Buffett?
If it comes on, I'm down for it. I'm not thinking about any Margaritaville yet. I'm not that full on, but you'll see.
Okay.
You'll see.
All right.
Come time when it's, when you're listening to the podcast and it's like August, maybe July, you'll be hearing me talk about the latest yacht rock song that I picked when it was like May.
Oh yeah.
And I was listening to some yacht rock that really kind of got my groove going, and I want to share some yacht rock with you guys because I've been talking about it so much. That day will be here. You'll see.
Well, the day of reckoning fast approaches.
If you're not familiar with yacht rock, you will be. And you'll be very glad that you are now being introduced to it, whether meaning like right now or then now.
Yeah. What I would also say, of course, because here's the thing: like before this song came out, I actually had another Cory Wong song that rhymed that I was thinking of bringing to the podcast, and now I'm just like, we still haven't done repeat artists, and we're both holding pretty strong on that. But even if I were to do another track by Cory Wong, I wouldn't want to do it super soon. So what I will say for sure is check out the playlist I make for this one, because there's going to be a lot of different stuff. He does a lot of different things between working with Wolfpack and his own solo work, that there's a lot of variation in there. And yet, at the same time, is distinctive enough that you'll be able to hear a track and be like, that's Cory Wong. Which, again, I think is just shows the talent and artistry of a musician, where they can do different things and you can still be like, I know who that is.
Absolutely. That is absolutely one of the biggest compliments I think you can give an artist is if you hear something and you're like, oh, that's blank. Because of anything, whatever that reason is. And then I think that's definitely one of the highest compliments for sure. Because we've talked about it before. It's hard to come up with something new or original. And if you have something that you're doing that sounds so unique that it's only associated with you, you did something right.
And that's why our podcast is only associated with us.
Goddamn right. One thing I did want to say, as my notes come to a conclusion here, is that for a song about the Mona Lisa and it being that old and everything else, I think it was pretty cool. I enjoy the poetry that he put into it, and kind of like that messaging that they did, and the idea of like, she thought she was just sitting for like a normal painting. She never wanted to be looked at by millions and millions of people. She wanted a modest life, not this. I thought it was an interesting take on like the hero nod of maybe not like the hero, but you know what I mean, like the let her sleep. Right?
Yeah. So I'm actually, because of that, I'll actually read this little paragraph that's on Genius from the About section, because it's pretty much talking about what you just said. It says here, in September of 2017, Wolfpack band members Cory Wong and Theo Katzman visited the Louvre in Paris, where the Mona Lisa is exhibited. On the plane back home, both described a surreal experience seeing people from all over the world so captivated by Da Vinci's simple painting. Theo is quoted by Cory as saying, she never wanted that. Lisa never wanted to be famous. Which, yeah, it's just like being thrust into that position without knowing what was going on. Like, it had to be so surreal. Just like, I never expected to be known by anyone, and here I am. I can't imagine what that must be like to someone who doesn't want that sort of attention. I know I would never want to be famous. I want to be rich. I'll throw that out there. Totally want to be rich. Famous though?
Then why are you on this podcast? We're gonna be famous AF, bruh.
Can we just be rich AF, bruh?
We gotta find somebody that wants to buy the brand.
Guys, I bought a Helix mattress. Helix, are you listening? It's great. I love it. I've been sleeping so much better. Sponsor me. You can have that for free, okay? Wait, no, you can't. I want to be sponsored.
I was gonna say, wait a minute, that's not working. That's the opposite.
Yeah. Now pay me. I said good thing about your mattress.
That's also not how it works. They need to pay you first.
Oh, okay.
And now they'll just be like, hey, you're pretty great. Here's a pillow.
Yeah, I'll take a pillow.
I mean, they do make some pretty nice pillows. Well, at least, I don't know about them specifically, because we haven't been sponsored yet to say anything about them.
Yeah, Steven could use a new bed, right?
Definitely. Why not?
Yeah, there you go.
Boom. We're winning. Well, as I prefaced before, I think that about does it for my notes. Did you have anything left that you wanted to say, either about the song, the lyrics, or anything else?
I could just continue gushing about the song, but really what it amounts to is it's good. It's really good.
Sounds good to me. I think that's about all I would need to hear for it. I mean, it was just that. It was very good. I can hear myself. I could see myself listening to this while choring. Like, this might be a good a Sunday Scaries playlist where you gotta just, get stuff cleaned up and ready to go and reset for the week. I think that about wraps up what I wanted to say, other than if you wanted to go ahead and listen to this pre-recorded message of me talking to you about social media. Because thanks. Thanks for that killer introduction. Couldn't have done it better myself. Alright, Scoobs, time to get real. Cue the Sarah McLachlan. Just kidding. We do, first of all, want to say thank you for checking us out, and hopefully if you made it this far, you like what we're doing, and you want to help. And if so, here are some key ways. Most importantly, share our podcast with a friend or an enemy. We don't judge. We just encourage that organic sharing and growth, because that's how Scoobs and I learn about songs together when we do our episodes. Next, you can share our social media posts from Facebook as The Feedback, THE space FEEDBACK, or on Instagram, THEFEEDBACK_PC. You can comment, share, like, whatever you want to do. Just make it constructive at least. You can leave us a review on Facebook or wherever else you might be able to. I know some streaming services allow it. 5 stars would be great, and if not, tell us why. Next, you can check out our episode-inspired playlists. We send one out every week. We're doing it for you guys and ourselves, but mostly you guys. Keep listening to us weekly. That'd be awesome too. Or check out our old stuff. We got some catalog at this point. And the most important thing of all, keep being awesome. Alright. Well, I think that was quite a bit, but I think it was all inclusive, and I hope you do it. I want to say thanks, and love ya.
And now that you've gone and done all the wonderful social media things that helps a young, burgeoning podcast grow, again, I have to listen to it again, because I haven't done that in a while. I don't recall if you mentioned the YouTube in there.
I don't, but I need to do that. I need to.
Yeah, we are also on YouTube. I believe our channel actually is just The Feedback PC. Let me see if I can double check that.
I think there's an underscore just like the Instagram.
Okay, yeah. We are up to date on there, where each episode will link to the next episode and to the related playlist as well. So if you could also go on YouTube, subscribe there, check out the playlist, and do all the stupid stuff you're supposed to do there too. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Smash that notification bell. That's the thing YouTubers say, I think. Feels awful saying it, but it's important. Anyways, I think that's going to do it. Am I right?
I think that about does it for us. I agree. I'm looking to make sure it's the feedback with the underscore. That's what you hear me tippy-tapping. And unfortunately, it's showing me my most recent playlists and songs, which is Donkey on the Edge.
Hell yeah. Yes, it is at the feedback underscore PC.
Okay.
So we're good.
I thought so, but I didn't want to tell anybody the wrong thing, you know?
Yeah, I get it.
Anyway,
thanks for listening, everyone. Coincidentally, I already know what song I'm going to do next time it's my pick.
Me too.
I'm thinking ahead. Oh shit! All right. Do you have a teaser?
No.
Because I want to do a teaser for mine, but it's not my go next episode, so I have to wait.
I didn't think of anything. I wasn't prepared for this amount of pressure. I can't do no.
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding. I don't have anything I could say too much. I don't think it'd be something along the lines of, I can't remember the last song I brought together last time. Not that song. The song I brought before that. When I brought Tyler the Creator, we're gonna go back into that realm a little bit. Different sound, different artist, but back into the rap genre, hip hop, all that stuff, whatever you want to classify it as, to generalize it as much as you need to. But yeah.
Okay, good to know. And then after that, I'll give a teaser for mine next week. But for you, Steven, I'll just say it's going to feature a band that I think you would never ever expect me to pick. So that's fun.
I'm excited.
All right. Well, thanks for listening, everyone. We appreciate you, and join us next time for whatever we dig up next. Goodbye.
Man, I just realized you didn't call it Exile again.
Shit! All right, we're gonna plug that in there. Ready? All right, and 3, 2, 1. And as always, I would like to give a shout out to the creator of our intro and outro music, Exile. The track we use is Egg, and you should definitely go check that song out, because you have probably not heard the entire song. You've probably heard 30 seconds here and then whatever I put at the end of it. So go listen to the whole song, and then go listen to other songs by Exile. They're good. Haha, the magic of editing.
Figured, one more quick double check before we get into it,
Yeah.
We've had that conversation before. Knock on wood, it never happens. And I mean, there's a non-0% chance that it could happen, where one of us isn't recording properly and we do a whole episode and can't ever use it because there's only half the audio.
Yeah, that would suck. I had that happen with old YouTube videos I did in the past with Megan, where it would just be my audio and it wouldn't XSplit would mess up and not record her. And then it would just be me talking to myself with very long, awkward pauses in between.
Dude, that's what I was friggin' sharing with people when I was first asking for their opinions on our episodes. I was sending them literally just my sound files because I was an idiot. I wasn't sending the mix downs that you were sending me. I was sending my audio only, and that was it.
Whoops.
My one friend was like, dude, I can't hear anybody but you. I'm like, that's not right. I'm like, yeah, that's all I can hear is you. I'm like, I know Scoop is a little bit quieter than me, but he's not that much quieter than me. What the fuck? And then I listened to what I sent them, and I'm like, my bad. You didn't tell me about the super long pauses of silence? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Anyway.